Good morning, students. In this lesson, I am going to explain you the numerical part of NCERT from question number 13 to 18. First question is, a ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meter per second. Calculate first the maximum height to which it rises. Second, the total time it takes to return to the surface of the earth. So here in this question, a ball is thrown upwards and the velocity is given 49 meter per second. Now we know that at the maximum point the final velocity becomes 0 and acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. So we have all these values with us and we are going to use the third equation of motion, v square equals to u square plus 2gh. Since this is an upward movement, so acceleration due to gravity will be negative. Placing all the values and after doing the calculation, the height came out to be 122.5 meters. So this is the maximum height which will be achieved by the ball. Now in the second part, you have to calculate the time taken by the ball to reach the height of 122.5 meters. So again, we are going to make use of initial velocity 49 meter per second, final velocity 0 and acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meter per second square. We are going to use the first equation of motion under gravity, that is v equals to u plus gt1. Why gt1? Because the question is asking you to calculate the total time. Total time means the time it takes to reach upwards and then the time it takes to return to the earth. So T1 is the time of going upwards. Placing the values, the T1 came out to be 5 seconds. As we know that the time of ascent and the time of descent will be equal. So both the timings are equal, T1 and T2 equals to 5 seconds. So the total time will be the addition of both, which is 10 seconds. Next question is, a stone is released from the top of a tower of height 19.6 meter. Calculate its final velocity. So here you are given the height 19.6 meter and a stone is released. Release means this is a free fall motion, so initial velocity will be 0 because it is falling towards the earth under the gravity and the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. Applying the third equation of motion, v square equals to u square plus 2gh. Since this is a downward movement, so acceleration due to gravity is positive. Placing all the values, the final velocity is equal to 19.6 meter per second. Next question is, a stone is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 40 meter per second, taking g, acceleration due to gravity, equals to 10 meter per second square. Find the maximum height reached by the stone. What is the net displacement and the total distance covered by the stone? So here the stone is thrown upwards with an initial velocity of 40 meter per second. At the maximum height, its final velocity will be 0 and we don't know the height which we have to calculate. Since this is an upward motion, so acceleration due to gravity is negative and the value is given to you 10 meter per second square, which is the round up value of 9.8 meter per second square. Applying the third equation of motion, placing the values, we can calculate the height and it came out to be 80 meters. Now in the next part of the question is asking you to calculate the net displacement and the total distance. Since it is covering the distance, that is the vertical distance, which is height 80 meters. So while returning to the earth, it will again cover 80 meters. So the total distance will be addition of both upward and downward motion, that is 160 meters. Now talking about the displacement, since the object is starting from the ground and coming back to the ground, so the net displacement in such cases becomes 0. So the net displacement or the total displacement is going to be 0. Next question is, calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun given that the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kilograms and of the sun is 2 into 10 raised to the power 30 kilograms. The average distance between the sun and earth is given 1.5 into 10 raised to the power 11 meters. So here in this numerical, mass of earth is given, mass of sun is given, and r stands for the distance between the two. Plus we know the value of gravitational constant, it is 6.7 multiplied by 10 raised to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Since the formula for gravitational force is F equals to gm1 into m2 upon r square, placing the values and doing the calculation, and I want you to do the calculation on your own also without the help of calculator. So doing the calculation, we will get the value of gravitational force. Since it is a force, its unit will be Newton, and it came out 3.57 into 10 raised to the power 22 Newton, which is a very greater gravitational force. Question 17. A stone is allowed to fall from the top of a tower 100-meter high, and at the same time another stone is projected vertically upwards from the ground with a velocity of 25 meters per second. Calculate when and where the two stones will meet. Suppose both the stones meet after time t, that after time t both stones will meet. So for stone 1 which is falling towards the ground, we have u equals to 0, acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meter per second square. We can calculate the height covered by it, that is h1. So h1 equals to ut plus half gt square. The equation or the acceleration is positive because this is a downward motion. So placing the values, h1 is equal to 4.9 t square. Now for the stone 2 which is moving upwards, we have the initial velocity to 25 meter per second and the acceleration due to gravity is minus 9.8 meter per second square. We can calculate the h2. h2 stands for the height covered by the stone second. So ut plus half gt square, placing the values, we will get the answer as 25t minus 4.9 t square. As we know, both are covering the height and they are going to cover the height equivalent to 100 meters. So h1 plus h2 equals to 100 meters. This is the height of the tower. So placing the values of h1 and h2 in this equation and calculating for time, so time came out to be 4 seconds. For the next part, you have to calculate when and where the two stones will meet. So as we have calculated the time, so the time is 4 seconds. We know the value of t now, which is 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, both stone will meet. We can place the value of t in any of the two equations. We are selecting the first equation, which is h1 equals to 4.9 t square. And after placing the value of t, so h1 is equals to 78.4 meters. So both stone will meet at a height of 100 minus 78.4 meters from the ground, that is 21.6 meters. So why we have calculated the difference, that is 21.6 meters here, because 78.4 meter is the distance covered by the stone 1 while reaching to the ground and 21.6 meter is the distance covered by stone 2 while reaching from the ground to the top. So if the question is asking from the ground at what distance they meet, so it will be 21.6 meters. I hope you understood. Next question is, a ball thrown up vertically returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. Find the velocity with which it was thrown up. second, the maximum height it reaches, and third, its position after 4 seconds. So a ball is thrown vertically upwards and the total time is given. Since the total time is equal to the sum of time of ascent plus time of descent, so individually time of ascent and time of descent will be 3 seconds. So time is 3 seconds now. Acceleration due to gravity is minus 9.8 meter per second square. Final velocity will be 0 when it will reach to the top. Applying the first equation of motion, and we can calculate easily the initial velocity, which is 29.4 meter per second. Now for the second part of the question, we have to calculate the maximum height it reaches. So all the values are given to us. H we don't know. We are going to apply the second equation, h equals to ut plus half gt square. Since this motion is in upward direction, acceleration due to gravity will be negative. Doing the calculation, height came out to be 44.1 meter. In the third part, you have to calculate its position after 4 seconds. So we know that initial velocity is 0. So its position after 4 seconds, since it is reaching to the maximum point in 3 seconds. In 3 seconds it is at the maximum point, so during next 1 second it will be returning to the earth, right? So we are going to calculate the distance covered during that 1 second. Okay, so distance covered during that 1 second, because at maximum point the velocity becomes 0, but now we are going to take this as initial velocity. So initial velocity is 0, t is 1 seconds, and acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. This is positive because the ball is now returning to the earth. Placing the values, we are getting the height to be 4.9 meter. So ball will be at 4.9 meter from top in 4th second. So we have to tell that where the ball will be, or at how much distance it is from the thrower. So after subtracting the height and the distance covered in 1 second, we will get the answer to this problem. So 44.1 minus 4.9 will give us the distance. So it is at 39.2 meters from the thrower. So this is all for today. You all are supposed to repeat these numerical problems on your own. You have to do their practice without the help of calculator. Try to understand them better. Once you are going to practice them, you are definitely going to learn them or understand them in a better way. So thank you. Have a nice day.